Boys, welcome back. I want to go to Javern first of all, because I can tell you are fuming, mate. Talk to me.
You know what? I'm not even. People are only just making noise because of the money that was spent. There's still some time to go, and I know there's a lot of agendas against people like Conor Gallagher and Mudrich. I personally believe that this guy is gonna come through. I believe he's gonna come through. There's so much raw talent in that team right now, and it's just something that's just gonna take time. Like look at that Chelsea team. It's unrecognizable. It's unrecognizable. Where like there's nothing there. There's literally nothing. There's nothing in the team right now to like that's world class. Like so, there's gonna be moments like this where, like today, like it's unfortunate that it happened because we could have won it. We could have won it. Why is Enzo on the penalty? If Enzo doesn't take that penalty, someone else takes it and scores. We're good. We're good. But it is what it is. Football comes at you fast. And here we are. 3-1 to West Ham after spending all that money.
I hear you on that, David. Do you feel similar? Are you more frustrated? Like, what did you make of it as a performance versus, it's a results-based business. You have to get results done. You dominated, but you couldn't score. I know you did score one goal, brilliant goal from Carney, but you couldn't get that next goal. You couldn't capitalize on your dominance. Why?
Again, if I could give this game, like if this was like a Chelsea TV show and I could give it an episode name, it'd literally be called Teething Problems. It's the start of the project. It's Poch, again, it's Poch's second game. It's most of these players' second game, and it's all of these players' second game playing with each other. So, I'm going to big up my friend Rohan because we were talking about this earlier. It's to expect consistency right now, I think, is an unfair expectation on this Chelsea team because they can't be consistent when they've played together for 2 games and have trained together for about 4 weeks. To expect consistency from that isn't fair to them. And we played well. Like in the first half, we did play well, and Chukwuemeka looked really good. Enzo again looked really good. But as soon as Chukwuemeka got injured, it kind of disrupted the flow of the team, and it just kind of never really got going again. Caicedo came on, and I felt like, again, it's hard to judge because they had a red card as well. But I felt like we had better control of the ball, especially in midfield. I didn't feel like it was so much end-to-end at that point. But again, they had 10 men, so whether that's Caicedo or a red card, I'm not too sure yet. But you know what? It's just one of those games. And another day, we'd be 4-1 up in the first half, and we'd be rotating. It's just one of those days, and I'm not too upset, or I'm not going to lose my head over these things because I'm not expecting, the finished article from day one because it's not fair.
I agree with quickly 1 second.
Of course can, Joe.
Do you think that this is the starting lineup, obviously barring Caicedo and Lavia? Do you think that this is going to be the starting lineup for Chelsea going forward?
Of course not.
I would
start Carney and Gallagher
I would say
maybe. Obviously, I'm saying obviously Caicedo and Lavia are going to come in, but I'm just saying once they come in, do you think this is going to be the starting lineup with Chukwuemeka being in there, Sterling starting ahead of whoever else?
I think I'm hoping Poch will go to a 4-3-3 at least and play, or if he wants to play a 4-2-3-1, play Lavia, start Lavia and Caicedo. Do you get it? Start all 3 of them with Enzo in there. I don't see Carney. Obviously, Carney's injured, but I don't see him starting like that really ahead of Lavia or Caicedo. In all honesty.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you on that, Don. Obviously, a lot of the viewers wanted to hear from you because you've had a lot of things to say about Chelsea this summer. You've talked down a lot of other teams. You've laughed at a lot of other teams according to them. Do you agree with what David said? You can't expect consistency now. You can't expect to win games like this now, or should you still be winning games that you dominate?
Yeah, no. Listen, I agree with that to an extent. We're not the finished article. Obviously, there's still time to come. It's only two games in, but I was saying before the game, I was confident about this game. We should have won the game. I'm not going to shy away from it. We had 1,000,001 chances and we just didn't take them. We didn't take them. And this is the Premier League, man. It doesn't matter if you're playing up against West Ham. If you don't take your chances, these are Premier League footballers. They can bury their chances when they get some. Moyes was playing like they had 10 men from the beginning. We were finding it really hard to beat that low block. Individually, I can only pick out really Sterling that had a good game. There was a lot of underwhelming performances today, in all honesty. Carney had a good game as well before he came on. But Enzo wasn't great today, in all honesty. Caicedo, horrible debut when he came on. Gallagher, I'm not really gonna big him up that much because he wasn't really getting pressed in the first half. But individually, the players that I'm looking at to kind of turn up, they just didn't play that well today, in all honesty, and we didn't have our shooting boots on. So I'm not gonna come out here and say, it's of course it's still a building process, but I still expected us to beat West Ham today. I was on Never a Foul earlier, and I literally said, Terry, I said, for me, I'm confident about this game, but the only question mark that I've got is our attack. I've still got question marks about Jackson. You guys can see that he's quite raw when it comes to the finishing.
That was gonna be my question. So maybe you can answer that first. Jackson, I think there's a real player in there. Yeah. But what he does look like to me is someone who is not ready to score you 20, 25 goals a season. Is that an area that needs to be addressed now in the transfer market? Do you have to go out and buy someone to put this ball in the back of the net?
Yeah, I mean, we had that person in midfield within Cuckoo. He's quite clinical. He's someone that you can definitely trust in front of goal. But yeah, I do think that we definitely need a little bit more of a clinical edge. That's why I'm looking at someone like Kudus. Because he's quite clinical in front of goal. Elise, hopefully, if he had come in, I don't know, maybe he would have been a little bit better in front of goal. But that's been the thing for me. When I look at our defense is balanced. Our midfield, I did not expect Caicedo not to start. In all honesty, again, he had a horrible debut. But I've always had question marks. For me, the main question mark that I've got about our team. The main question mark.
I don't think he should have even played.
Let me finish, Jay. Yeah, the main question. Team was the attack, and today it let me down because the chances were there. The game should have been done for in the first half. And Enzo, I really hate it when players take that long run up on penalties. I really, really hate it. One thing they always say when it comes to penalties is don't change your mind. And when you take that long when it comes to a penalty, more time you're going to change your mind. And that's what it kind of looked like to me. It kind of looked like Enzo changed his mind last minute, and it was a shit penalty. So listen, we've got to hold that one. West Ham, listen, as much as anyone wants to mock how they play horrible football, but it worked. It worked, and the reason why it worked is because we didn't finish our chances. So we've got to hold that one. We've just got to hold that one there. But we move in it, we move. It is weird.
Javerne, you said that Jackson shouldn't be starting. Did I hear that right?
No. I'm saying Caicedo shouldn't have started today. As in current, should have come on. Because he didn't start, just don't bring him on today. In terms of, because he hasn't had a preseason with us, it's a whole new system. You're gonna bring someone on. You can clearly see that it just wasn't it today. Sometimes a player could come in and be fantastic out of the block, but this wasn't the day for it. In all honesty, should have just kept him off because now this is what we're gonna have. Oh, he spent 1 billion. People need to understand that players do not go for how much they are worth. They go for how much a club values them. So this whole, you spent this, shut the hell up.
You're gonna get that. As much as you explain it, no, you're gonna get that.
I know we're gonna get it, but it's so stupid now. It's so dumb. But keep on going with it. Keep on going with it. But it's just dumb. Like I said, I think in general, they will just give them time. They'll gel. I trust Poch to do that. He's done it before with Tottenham. Can he do it again? Hopefully, and we go from there.
But Jay, this is the thing though. I get what you're saying about gelling and building more chemistry and whatnot. I didn't see a lack of money. I didn't see a lack of. But the thing is, I didn't see a lack of chemistry today. I saw a lack of clinical edge. That's the main problem that I saw today. I didn't see a disjointed team. What I saw was a team that was struggling to beat a low block. And West Ham, listen, I was speaking to my boy earlier as a West Ham fan. He literally said West Ham have an average height of 6'2". They're tall. These guys are tall guys. Every single time we kept putting the ball in there, they just kept heading it out. It didn't work because we've hardly got any height in our team. We've literally got Disasi. He was the only player on the pitch that's over 6 foot. I think him, Levi's not as tall as West Ham's defenders, and you got Sanchez in goal. So listen, West Ham's tactics, they worked against us today because we didn't finish the chances that we had. So that's what it is. I don't think it was a matter of lack of chemistry. I think it was just a lack of clinical edge.
Again,
but that's the thing. Sorry, just the thing. It's a lack of clinical edge, but that's something we've come off the back of that again from last season and into that in this season. It's a whole new team now. Yes, we don't have an out and out striker that's going to get us those 20 whatever plus goals. So therefore, I think if we can get the team to play a bit more as a team and more gel, and maybe get into positions where maybe they can finish the chances, where a striker would have, then that's what we're gonna have to rely on now, because we don't have a striker that's just gonna come up and just score a goal. So it has to be a team effort now.
Okay, so you're saying that the style of play, the patterns have to change, is what you're saying. It
has to be a team effort now to get the goals, because we don't have a striker like, for instance, Haaland. He's gonna get you goals.
I get what
guys. I want to go to some of these super chats, and I want to speak to Chairs and Alex and DR. We've got more people backstage we're going to bring on, but I've got about 20 super chats, and I don't want to ignore them. Richard here says, saying it's so dumb to judge your team based on investment, yet using the same logic to judge other clubs' projects. Are you new to football?
I don't know who that's saying that.
I think what he's saying is like, I think he's saying that, how can people are so dumb to like criticize Caicedo after one game, but yet Chelsea fans have been criticizing like Kai Havertz and Mount after one preseason game. I think it's more of it's just the era we live in. That's the problem with it. It's just the era we live in.
If he's talking to me, I don't know if he can be talking to me, because I've never said that. But go on before I pop up. Go on.
I hear you. RK here says, this reminds me of Conte 2016. We lost the London derby to Arsenal 3-1, and the same day Sterling is the best player for Chelsea. We are coming back is what RK believes. This year says unfit Caicedo replacing Chile when chasing. Insane. Yeah, again, I didn't think Chilwell needed to come off personally. Maybe there's some fitness 100%. Issues and I don't want to risk him, but that was a poor decision. Mudryk is our worst ever player. Glad he's still time left in the window to sell him. Also, Jackson ain't ready. Like, do you agree with that, Alex? I mean, that's a big take there from a Chelsea fan. Do you agree with what's being said there, Alex?
Based on how the kid looks, he barely 18. What should I expect coming from an 18-year-old? Based on the picture of the kid, like I'm not even bothered to answer that. That's stupid. I just have a couple of questions that was actually confusing to me. It's not about I think performance we find. I'll actually agree with Dan. I don't think the game was actually a bad game. I think Chukwuemeka's injury was quite significant, because I noticed that injury before, and I want him to come off immediately because I felt that he popped the knee when he went into the challenge. So he kind of stayed, and I'm worried that he will have a longer out. But my confusion with I'm not challenging any manager or starting 11, because I don't know the training grounds. I don't know the injury list. So for me, starting 11, I don't know. What I do see how manager thinks when he makes substitutions, and when a manager makes substitutions, at least I want to understand that which way are we going. So when Pochettino made a substitution, it actually made me more confused, because if you think about it, like Mudryk, everybody's like trying to think about the Mudryk. We're not utilizing the players that we have at Chelsea to the best of their performance. Why would you even consider to play Mudryk in the crowded space when the guy is literally power on play? He eventually start to go jogging on the left a little more. But that's not how we actually went throughout the game. Enzo, for me, it's like he does not see Mudryk on the left. He always crosses on the right. He never crosses on the left. If you look at the first half when Chilwell was on the left side, how many of those long balls into the run Chilwell had?
Yeah.
Why that thing stop?
That's a really good point. I was talking to KJ about this earlier. We were talking Man United. And I said, I'm getting bored of inverted wingers everywhere, all clubs. I like fullbacks changed 5 years ago, and suddenly everybody wanted a David Beckham at fullback rather than an Ashley Cole. I almost feel like I think some teams could be really successful if they start using people in an orthodox way again. Right footers on the right, left footers on the left. You go on the outside and you start cutting balls back into the box. Because how many teams are even training for that on a regular basis? Because everybody now expects most fullbacks inside forwards to cut in onto their preferred foot as an example. Yes, some can go on the outside. The best ones in the world can, but the majority cut on the inside all the time. And I always think it takes something out of the attack because it allows defenders to set.
Let me ask you a question, Terry. Let me ask you a question. Everybody is not the new flavor of the month, that Matome guy from Brighton, you know? Guess whose Mudryk was a manager before he came to Chelsea? It was De Zerbi at Shakhtar. That's who's Mudryk manager. He utilizes the same player the way we should utilize Mudryk. You go onto the pass, you give the kid run into the space. Why not using that? After substitution. I'm not saying before. You see what I'm saying?
Do you want to know what it is, though? This is what can happen to footballers, though. When you play for Shakhtar, how much space do you have to run in behind? The problem is when you play for Chelsea is you don't have that space. Barring against the top teams, everybody sits back. It's a different kettle of fish when you have to play for a big team. There are some players that can look amazing at Crystal Palace. They can look amazing at Brighton. Because even as good as Brighton are, I watch their games, no one sits back in low blocks against them. Everybody tries to beat them. So it's a different kind of game when you don't have that space to run into. When a team
had it. Chilwell had it the first half.
Yes,
he
but
had that space.
Yes. But Chilwell has got a left foot. And he's going on the outside. It's doable when you're using your stroke, when you're left-footed on the left-hand side. When you've got to cut back, it makes it harder because people know you're going to cut back. That's the point. I think it's I get where you're coming from. I want to try and get back. We've got 26 super chats here, and I want to talk to all the panel as well.